Hi again everybody, and welcome to my watercolour painting of the Hulk. I was asked to paint him next by a friend, so obviously his wish was my command. My base tone for the Hulk was sage green, mixed with a bunch of other darker greens and Payne's grey to create the deep shadows and contrast that you see me paint right now. I initially thought that painting green skin would be very hard to do, but it wasn't. It was a lot easier than painting a white person's skin, and that's mainly because you've got so many different greens to choose from and mix with that you can create all the values and contrasts that you want. Obviously you can see me here just adding Payne's grey everywhere because I'm in love with Payne's grey, and I mix it with, on every portrait I do, I mix it with all my colours to create the heavy deep contrast that you see. Like all the eye is Payne's grey, even around his right hand side on that eye is also Payne's grey, mixed in with that sage green to create the dahlia that I want, slowly building up the colour from a simple sage green wash. And you can see as I add the helmet on the right hand side, it makes that face stand out. Here I'm lifting off paint to create the lighting. The lighting's coming from his right hand side as well. And I chose a reference photo that I didn't think I would find on YouTube, for example. A lot of people have painted the Hulk, and I used the one from Thor Raganarok. The fact I've never painted metal before on the helmet, and later on you'll see how long it took me to paint the metal on the helmet. And right now I'm adding the shadow under his nose and around his mouth. I actually did this by using Payne's grey and doing tiny dots all over the place to create the pores of where his facial hair would grow through to be semi-realistic. The teeth is a Payne's grey wash and lifting the paint off, so you're left with like a stain in the Payne's grey. But because he's the Hulk, he's also got green teeth, so I had to go over with the sage green again and lift the paint off again so it stains the teeth. So they look white, but they're not white, they're off-white because the teeth aren't actually white. If they would have done them white, they would have been too much and they wouldn't look right, it would have looked scary. And then the lips are the same, Payne's grey to add the heavy contrast, mixed with the sage green again. And my initial overall idea for the Hulk was that he's such a massive character that he would just take over the entire page of the piece of A3 watercolour paper. So that's how I drew him. I've got it up on the wall now and it looks amazing because it's so massive on the page. I'm just hiding the shadow on his left hand side to give the appearance that it's actually, on top of his head. And then I've painted in the metal at the bottom. First time I painted metal, it takes forever. It's all Payne's grey wash, slowly building up the different darks and lights as you see them, waiting for it to dry and then building it up again and again until you eventually get the straight, fully pigmented Payne's grey, not in the detail. As you can see from the video, I've spent a long time. I think I spent 3 days doing this one side of the helmet because it was the darker side and the other side will be lighter. But in his helmet there's like little spikes and crevices and there's so much detail. And I also damped a fan brush don't matter what type of fan brush it is, synthetic one or whatever. And I went over the top of it, dabbing as it lifts up the watercolour, leaving a textured effect, like a brushed metal effect on his helmet. So you can't really see it on the video, but if you had the artwork in your hand, you'd see the textured effect. As you can see here, it's a lot more lighter on his right hand side, so that's how I painted it out. But I wasn't happy with how much lighting I was getting. It wasn't light enough for me, so I took some gouache and watered it down a bit, and I added it in with the Payne's grey and to come up with a heavy light on his helmet, but not too much because I didn't want it to draw your attention away from the face. Adding in the texture on the right hand side. Now I'm doing the final piece of the helmet. But again, it's in a lot of light again, so it's got to be lighter than his left hand side of the helmet. It's also got to look like it's sitting on his face, not attached to his face. Well guys, this video is about to come to an end. If you're somebody that prefers to use Instagram or Twitter, there are links in the description to them particular sites. I do post progression photos for you, so you can see what I'm doing next before they even make it to YouTube. There's also a link in the description to the watercolours I use, which is Cotman watercolours. And also, if you'd like to watch me paint Captain America, that video is on my channel. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching.